Hello, everyone. We are here at the Academy Day number 8, and I'm with David Wortley from Taylor James. So to get things started, please make a short introduction before we follow up with the next question.
Yeah, hi. I'm David Wortley. I'm from Taylor James. I'm technical director there. So I'm responsible for helping the guys solve the problems in the studio. It's like we kind of work through with scripts and tools and look at new software. And I've been at Taylor James for 10 years now, so it's a long time, a lot of projects, and we do a lot of really interesting creative work.
So what did you do before you came into the studio in terms of educational background, and how did that get you into the technical director position?
So my background was, I did a degree at a university called Portsmouth in the UK. It's a computer animation degree, which is kind of actually an arts background, weirdly. But I've always been interested in how to solve problems with a little bit of code, and I kind of naturally found myself progressing down that route. I was always creative, but always looking for the best, optimal solutions to problems. And so yeah, I graduated there over 10 years ago now, and yeah, Taylor James was actually my first job, unbelievably, and I started there as a junior artist, and just basically spent time there, learning what to do, what not to do, and just kind of figuring out that I could. There was so many unique challenges that Taylor James has. You know, we're not doing the same thing every single day, and basically just to be able to deliver some of the things the clients are asking for, we had to come up with solutions that aren't in the box, that there isn't a button for. So just naturally I started writing scripts to solve problems, to animate things, or to create images that just wouldn't be possible otherwise. So, and then basically I kind of realized that there was a lot that you could do with optimizing workflows and improving tools. And now I just basically help all the team just manage their work and get huge amounts through the door, because we have a lot of big projects nowadays.
Okay, can you give us an example of something that you created that solved the problem, something interesting? Could be related to architecture visualization, but could be related to some other projects that you did, but something that we can, have a better idea about what it is you do for the artists.
So one of the biggest things that we've it's basically meant we can do a lot more. Is a tool that we developed, and it's called Hydrogen, which basically allows us to submit lots of renders. Now, we're kind of architectural visualization. You might have one or two images to submit. When we're doing product visualization, particularly with automotive, there might be up to maybe 6,000 render elements that need to go. So, not even render elements, render passes, because these cars are made up of lots of different pieces, different models, different colors, different wheels. So, I mean, imagine trying to have every single artist sitting there clicking submit on deadline 6,000 times to submit the job. It's just, it's completely impossible. So, we started with this tool probably about 6 years ago now, and it's been used on pretty much all the big jobs and all the small jobs as well, actually, just to help the guys just manage their workflows, manage the renders, and just not have to be sitting there saving out files manually, making sure they got the names correct, making sure they submitted it to the right groups, my aim is always to give the artist the most time to be creative, and then just let the machine deal with all the all the manual repetitive work.
Okay, that links quite nicely to your talk today, or yesterday actually. So AI, machine learning, how does that come into play in your role at the studio?
So I think AI is something that we all have to be aware of. It's not really being used too much in the industry yet. And I think the key word there is yet, because there's so much room for improvements in the way that we're doing things. There's a lot of time that we're spent searching for images, or trying to match references, or create variation in textures, all these things which there's a little tools starting to come out now, little scientific papers that are showing there is another way to do these things, and that is using neural networks. and that's the thing that's just really interested me at the moment. And I've done a lot of research into it, and I just want to make sure that when these tools start being available to us, we're the first ones to use it, because the first adopters are going to always be the pioneers of it. They're going to be the people who get the biggest value from it. So we need to make sure that we don't get caught out here. So it's just very, very interesting to me.
Can you give a more specific example? For example, you mentioned searching for references. So how AI can help one find better references or faster?
So I think with references, even if sometimes it's just our own image library that we have, and when we have stock library of about 5 million photos, and we actually already ran our stock library through a neural network system to categorize it, because having somebody going through it and manually categorizing every single thing in that library is a very, very long, slow, tedious process. It's going to take probably one person a couple of years to do. So we've already looked at, having AI have a look at our images and understand what they are, and then tag it, so that when we're actually looking for things that we've got in our library, like sky shots or some tree shots, we can have a look and find these images.
Cool, that's a nice thing. So put us a little bit in scope in terms of how big the team is, if it's spread out. Taylor James, what do they do besides architectural visualization? What are the fields you're doing work at?
Well, the first thing I'd say was that we don't really do a lot of architectural visualization, actually. It's, we do a lot of product visualization. The products that we tend to do are very bespoke. And the team is, the company started about, it must be 17 years ago now. It was based in London at first. We had just a small team of people doing photo retouching. So, taking beautiful photos from really renowned photographers and retouching them and making them look amazing. And based on that reputation for quality, when CG started becoming into the retouching industry, Taylor James realized this was something we needed to get on board with and be doing ourselves. So we started our own CG department, and I came in very early in those days, actually. And it's been a massive transformation for the business to go from being just stills imagery to then doing CG with it, and then also then having a look at doing animation with CG. So the team got bigger. We grew in our office space. And we have a lot of markets all over the world that we work with. So we opened an office in New York about 6 years ago now, I think it is, and that's grown as well. And that's similar size to our London office. So probably it always depends on the day of the week, because like most studios like us, that we expand with freelancers. So you could have up to sort of 60 to 70 people working in either like the UK or the London or the New York office. And then we have some other offices as well that are quite recent that have opened up. We've opened up in Berlin to be more accessible to the German market there, and all the rest of the Europe there as well. And we have an LA office as well. So we have we do a lot of automotive work with US clients. So being on that West Coast, being able to respond to emails later into the day, and be able to go out and stay in contact with these clients and meet them is really useful.
Okay, I can say, or I can add, that I've been familiar with the work of the studio since you mentioned 2009. I think there was this Bermuda animation, and I've been following the studio ever since. So it's great talking to you, and I hope our viewers liked it. And we'll see you in the next Academy Day.